Alright, so we got Casey O'Neill versus Lara Procopio. Casey O'Neill has 2 inches in height and 2 inches in reach on Lara Procopio. So both these guys on the feet, they're mostly looking to just come forward and then get a hold of you and look to get you onto the map. They do have a bit of stand-up, you know. Procopio hasn't got a bad jab, and Casey O'Neill hasn't got a bad jab either. Casey O'Neill, she throws a lot of naked kicks though, and she is quite flat-footed, so you know, that does get her in trouble. I think she needs to work on a stand-up a little bit more, and same with Procopio probably. Where they prefer the fight to be is definitely on the mat. So Casey O'Neill, she'll go for more traditional takedowns like the double leg, the single leg on the fence. And for Procopio, she likes the takedowns in the clinch. Like most of her successful takedowns do come from the clinch. She doesn't have great technique on takedowns in the open, like just traditional takedowns like double legs, single legs, you know, just freestyle techniques. But yeah, she doesn't set those takedowns up. She shoots from way too far out. So yeah, kind of telegraphs her shot, open for guillotines and all that kind of stuff. But when I was watching Casey O'Neill on tape a few fights ago, so, you know, a year or two ago, she was in the clinch. She was pushing her opponent with her palms on the opponent's face. Like, this could allow Procopio just to get double underhooks really easy and then look for her trips from there. I'm guessing she's worked on that because that was a while ago. She was like 3 or 4-0 at the time, so she's probably working on that. She's at a decent gym at Extreme Couture, so yeah. But if Procopio gets on top, she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and you know, she has decent top control. But Casey, she's much better when she gets on top. So when she gets on top, she'll look for ground and pound elbows in top position, even in guard. Like, it doesn't have to be in mount. She'll still look for elbows, look for damage on top. And if you turn, she'll take the back when you offer it to her. But Procopio's not going to just take it lying down off her back. Like, she's very active off her back. She will throw up omoplatas, arm bars, triangles off her back. You know, she doesn't mind being on her backside, and maybe she can be a little too comfortable there. And to prove my point, she pulls guard when she can't get the takedown. So, you know, I think she comes from that traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. Like, I think that was her first discipline that she was trained in, so that's where the tendencies come from there. But she is, you know, quite active off her back and quite hard to control. How these guys win fights, so for Procopio, she's super game. You know, she was trading it with Carol Hoser at 135. Like, she was going shot for shot with her. Incredibly game. She got good volume, good cardio as well. And for Casey O'Neill, she's very aggressive. That's what you want to see in young fighters. But, you know, so is Procopio. How these guys lose fights, so for Procopio, she's quite hittable. You know, predictable movement, always coming forward. Poor strike and defense in general. Yeah. Path to victory for these two. So basically, for both of them, just get in top position. Or for Procopio, look to pump out the jab and get the volume up on the feet. But yeah, mainly look to get in top position for both and look to dominate from there. How I see the fight going, so yeah, I said Procopio was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt before, but I want to see her tested against a decent grappler. And I'm not saying Casey O'Neill is a decent grappler, I'm just saying I want to see the legitimacy of Procopio's black belt, because, you know, she got caught in a few arm bars by Molly McCann, so I don't know if she just wasn't expecting it, but, you know, that's not really something you'd expect from a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So yeah, I want to see more from her grappling, just so I could say she's a BJJ black belt with confidence. Casey does a lot of her work on the mat, and if she's unable to obtain dominant position, then I'd like to see how she fares in this fight. If she can't get dominant position, I'd like to see how the fight plays out here, because her previous competition have made her look like Khabib on top. But I doubt she does that to Procopio. Procopio does have a decent guard. She's not going to allow Casey O'Neill just to tee off on her on top position. But yeah, Procopio is definitely the more likely of the two to accept bottom position. And in the UFC, judges just don't rate that highly. They don't rate bottom work highly. Generally, the person on top, if nothing's really happening, they just give it to that fighter. So yeah. On the feet, I do favour Procopio with her jab and her volume. Also the forward pressure as the visual for the judges. I think she's going to be winning the visuals, but her head is there to be marked up by the 1-2 of Casey O'Neill if she can let her hands go. Betting wise, you know, at these lower level women's MMA fights with two decent grapplers, generally you can expect not a lot of top control and not a lot of resistance when either one are defending takedowns. I think this will be kind of a back and forth scrambly type of fight. And if I were to bet these type of fights, I generally just go with the underdog because most of them are 50-50, and I think odds makers just are kind of compelled to put someone as the favorite to induce action. But I think most of these fights are around 50-50. So yeah, let's have a look at the betting lines. So I think the line is absolutely correct. I lined this at a pick'em a while ago, and I think they've come out with the correct line. It's very slightly a lean Procopio by decision. That's my prediction, but I think it's very. If I have to pick, I think it's a pick. I think it's 50-50, but if I have to pick, I'll say Procopio. I think there's going to be a lot of scrambles in this fight. It's probably going to be pretty competitive. If I were to bet anything, it'd just be the dog at if the dog were to get to plus 130 or $2.30, then I'd bet that. But yeah, I think the line's 100% correct, and yeah, it should be a fun fight. It should be a bunch of scrambles probably.